Thanks to our patrons for help making this possible. Learn more in the description below.
And one other random little thing before we get going. I know heaps of you guys are hanging out for a trip episode. I am too. I'm super keen to go and do one. Next time will be a trip, I promise. Hey guys, and welcome back to Overland NZ and our 2022 Toyota Fortuner build. So in the garage for the last 2 months or so, I've had a Rhino Rack Pioneer system sitting there ready to go, and I've finally got around to installing it, and I'm super stoked with it. So in this video, we're going to go through what I had to do to get the backbone system up on the roof of the vehicle, and the tray, and then the accessories that I've fitted up to it for now. Just before we get started though, I'd like to say a massive shout out to Rhino Rack. They've been a huge supporter of Overland NZ for the last couple of years, and I was super keen to take part in the Fortuner build, and they've supplied me with all the Rhino Rack gear that you can see. So yeah, let's jump into it. So what is a Rhino Rack backbone, and why have I chosen to go with it on this vehicle? Basically, this here is a backbone mount, and it replaces the sort of stock, I guess, rails on your vehicle if you've got them, or sits flush in your tracks if that's what you've got on the vehicle. And basically they give you a far better load spread over the roof of the vehicle, and in the case of my Fortuner here, I get 5 bolt down points. So, you know, some vehicles you have to do rivets, other vehicles you can do bolts, other vehicles you got gutters. I have bolts on this, which means that I can make full use of the load capacity of this vehicle. So there's 3 kind of reasons that I've gone with it. Number 1, I want to be able to put stuff up there and not be concerned about it. This here is going to give me the biggest load capacity that I can get. Number 2, I think they look kind of cool. And number 3, kind of on the aesthetics as well. If you mount these trays here onto the rails, the gap between the roof and the tray is quite high, just because you're going to get over the shark fin area on the top of the car. Due to the design that Toyota have used for those rails, I have to drop the roof lining, which means half the interior has to come apart. All right, so I've made the decision to start at the front of the car. I bought a set of trim removal tools. Hopefully they do the trick, and screwdriver for those extra little places where that doesn't quite work. Gotta be honest, putting apart a brand new car that's only done a few Ks is not high on my fun list, but having a roof rack is gonna be awesome. So, let's begin. Alright, so apart from the seal just here, I've got, I think, everything out of the way in here. So all the trim's up around the sides, all the stuff in the roof's off except for the air vents, which can just stay there. And yeah, pull this off here, which I've been avoiding because it's got rubber grease, and pop these guys out. And I assume that the roof lining just kind of falls down, maybe? I don't know, I've never actually got this far before. And here we go, you can see the whole roof. Bolts there that I'm after. Hopefully the front works. Come around here. There's a wiring loom up here that I wasn't expecting that runs into here and for all this stuff. I don't really want to unplug it because it kind of runs up the pillar, so I'm hoping I can get a small ratchet up in there, and the rest of it can be rattle gunned out. So like, I'm a reasonably practical person, but this is not hard. Like, I reckon if you're remotely good at doing this sort of stuff, you'll have 0 issues pulling this off and installing one of these roof racks. Alrighty, that's all the bolts out. I think. Maybe. Oh, there we go. One rail off. Huh. I figured hole. They're the main ones where the backbone goes in, and then there's these random little alignment holes, I guess they were, that the factory one used. There's another hole there, and then 3 holes down the end. So these bag of, I don't know if you can see that, this bag of patches, and they are used to seal these holes. So let's chuck them in now. Time to fit this up, and then we are done for today. 5 bolts, and hopefully it's nice and easy. So yeah, I had to rush inside last night to go to family time, but basically one side of the backbone is on. It's pretty easy to do, and it's all sealed up and hopefully nice and waterproof. The other side on now before my helper arrives to lift the roof tray up onto the roof and then start getting the interior of the car back together, because it's a bit of a mess in there. So yeah, let's jump into it. So we've just gone through and moved all the crossbars to line up with the mounts up on the backbone. And one thing I love about the Rhino Rack Pioneer system is A, it comes with all the tools you need to do this stuff, and B, there's now a whole bunch of measurements along here, and you can jump online on your phone and they provide you with like where to line everything up. It's awesome and makes this job way easier than the old days when you just kind of had to guess. Righty, so the roof tray is on, and while I had Dad here giving me a hand, I started putting the roof lining back on too, as that turned out to be like a two-person job, but it's looking pretty cool. Like, if I get out of the way, it's amazing how much like a roof rack can change the look of a car, and also mean that, you know, I can carry way more stuff now up on the roof. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Come around here. Backbone stuff is real nice. Like, it's all kind of bolted in and everything's bolted down real strong. Like, there's no way that this is going anywhere at all. Yeah, it's got 5 bolts holding the whole thing in, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked. One of the bits I was worried about was the boot opening. I've got that gap in there perfectly. So yeah, pretty stoked with that. I'm gonna get the interior of the car back together and then start on the process of fitting up my accessories and my awning at long last. And we are fully done. Inside's all back together. So I don't know what that would cost to like get someone to do that job for you. It's not particularly hard, it's just very time consuming, and probably a little bit more so than I expected. Alrighty, time to chuck my Stewart's back on and my spade. So to chuck the Rhino Rack recovery brackets together, pretty simple. And I'm just going to line the max tracks up now with the bracket here and tighten it all down. Right, front one on, eyes on there, and down the back. The other bracket all lines up. Alright, that's all of them on. Let's try and get so as nice stuff lines up perfectly. And then we got these spinny on dudes here. I definitely need some more max tracks. 4 would be a much better number for this. Right, I am super stoked with that. It wasn't that hard to do. It did take quite a while, but I had a few breaks and stuff in between. Hardest part is getting that roof lining back up. You know, obviously if you're paying someone to do this, it will cost money. It is just a time-consuming process. But if you're reasonably handy, you should just be able to do it at home yourself. So yeah, I'm stoked with how it's looking. It's transformed the look of the truck, you know, once again, and I guess has made it look that little bit more purposeful and has given me a bunch more storage up on top that I can put, you know, lightweight things and kind of bulky stuff that I want to keep out of the cab of the car. So anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and check us out on Patreon if that is your jam. And I'll catch you next time on Overland and Zed. Whoop!